up, everybody? Today, episode 2 of Story Time. The title, obviously, y'all seen it. Drunk Driving in May. May is a town in Texas that is small as shit. You've probably never heard of it before. You can look it up if you want to. It's got a school. It's got a post office. And I think it has a convenience store again. That convenience store goes in and out of business every few years, so you never know if it's really opened. That's it for May. That's all you got. You got that school, you got the post office, and you maybe have a convenience store. And I graduated from May. So that's just a little insight on May, Texas, because that's going to be in the title, Drunk Driving in May. Again, I'm looking over at my notes because, again, these are stories from my past, usually 10 plus years ago, so I've got to kind of like think of them, write this stuff down, little PowerPoints to where I don't fall off topic and to where I don't forget anything crucial to the story. So we're about to get into this. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment what you want to see next time. If you like the story time episodes, let me know. Comment in the comments that you like story time episodes. You want to see some more of them, because I'm going to be pumping out a few more. We're going to do season 1. Will be about 5 to 8 episodes, just to let you know, and then take a little break from story time for a while, come back, do another season if y'all enjoy it. So, like I said, today's Drunk Driving with May. We're going to go ahead and light up our little joint ski. Because who wants to tell a story while not smoking? Like, come on now. So, drunk driving in May. I was 17 years old at the time. I told my mom I was going to go stay the night at a friend's house. I usually told my mom I was going to go stay the night at a friend's house no matter what I was doing. So it was normal for her to hear that, and it was normal for me to ask that. She's like, yeah, you can go ahead and stay the night. So I go over to my homie's house. In this episode, I'll be using names because I don't think they care. I'll be honest, these people probably don't care that I'm talking about them. Because I'm not going to use no last names. So if you really want to figure out the names, either you know me or you're going to have to do some digging to figure out who these people actually are. Went over to my homie James' house. It's not really his house. It was his homie's house. We went over to his house. He lived in May. I go over there. I told my mom I was staying the night at James' house. She's like, all right, bet. And I go with him over to his homie's house. I cannot remember this dude's name to save my life right now. I've been trying to think of it for the past 2 hours. I cannot think of it. I cannot remember his name. Like I said, it's been 13 years since this happened, so I cannot think of his name to save my life. So I go over there. They pull out beer and Kentucky Deluxe. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not an actual beer drinker. I will drink liquor, and then I'll drink stuff like the Twisted Teas or the Wicked Red Apple Ales. I'll drink stuff like that, but I will not drink beer. Like, Keystone is a maybe, but I usually will not drink beer. So he says he's got this Kentucky Deluxe. I'm like, yo. I get down on that, so I start shot for shot with these people. Remind you, I'm 17. I think I'm a badass. I think I can do whatever I want. I'm invincible, yo. I can take as many shots as Kentucky Deluxe as I want. Ain't shit gonna happen to me. So I'm I'm throwing these bitches back, bro. With these grown-ass men. One of them was a grown-ass man. The other one was around my age. That was my homie James. And then it was the grown-ass dude's mom, which she was like 20 years on all of us, bro. And all of them, they're hanging together good. So I think I'm doing good. I'm not feeling nothing. Taking these shots back for back. And then all of a sudden, boom, it hits me like a fucking tank, dog. And y'all know how it is whenever alcohol finally hits you, going hard for a good hour or two, and you think, oh, I'm invincible, and then it just, bah! It hit me so hard, boom! My whole world just started like spinning. I was like, oh God. So I went out his back door. He had a little back porch. I was like, I need to go back there. I want to make sure I'm staying on topic. I ain't forgot anything real quick, you know what I'm saying? Small party, honey, so I was staying the night. Yeah. Yep. All right, we're back. We're right on course. Like I said, went to this back porch. You got a little small concrete back porch with steps. Goes down to the grass and the dirt. And as soon as I hit that back porch, I knew it. I just started puking. All that bullshit. And I stayed there probably for the next 30 minutes to an hour, at least. Because, I mean, it hit me like a fucking tank out of nowhere. And I was just like, oh my God, I've never been this messed up. I'm 17, so I haven't had that many, like, super, super drunk experiences yet. But this was one of them. So I was like, oh my God, I just got to get all this out of me. So I'm out there forever. And it feels good, so I stay out there a little bit longer. I remember falling asleep on the back porch. And then I woke up, and that was my homie Frank. That was the original reason I was coming to this party, was to hang out with him. We was talking about it during the day. Even though his older brother was more of a homie to me than he was, this was the whole reason I came, was because of Frank. He was the one that brought it up during the day at school. So I was like, what the fuck, dude, you're finally here? And I woke up. He's waking me up on the porch. I'm like, hell yeah. And then we get up, we chit-chat for a little, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. We're back in the kitchen at this point. Taking a couple more shots. They drinking a couple beers. We smoking some cigarettes. I don't think any of us had any weed, because it was hard to find weed in May, Texas back in 2008, 2009, whichever year it was. It was still kind of hard to find that shit. You had to go at least 30 miles this way or 30 miles that way to get it. So, pretty sure we were just drinking. And then I remember out of nowhere, I don't remember. It might have been Frank, or it was that other dude's house that we was at. He was like, let's go for a ride. And I can remember his car because it was this beat up piece of shit, like brownish, goldish color. And then he had this stupid fucking, I don't care what y'all think. If y'all like rebel flags, that's cool with y'all. I don't like rebel flags, so he had this stupid ass fucking rebel flag on his fucking hood. I don't like that shit. I'm sorry. It's not my taste. That might be y'all's. That's fine with y'all. Everybody has their own taste. I'm not into that shit. That's the reason I remember this car so vividly. He had this stupid ass rebel flag, and it was also like, it was one of those cars you see driving by, and you're just like, yo, fix your fucking car, dog. It's beat up. It's nasty. Like, the gas is going everywhere. Like, blah, 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 blah. It's just a terrible car. We all got into it. Well, it was me. I'm in the back seat, driver's side. Passenger side, I take that back. Back seat, passenger side. The dude's house that we live in, passenger side. Like I said, we all went out to this car. And then Frank got in the driver's seat. He's like, yo, let me drive. So homie was like, let him drive, whatever. I'm in the back seat. I remember I had a cigarette in my hand, lit. I smoked cigarettes back in the day. Smoking my cigarette. We're driving around on a back road, maybe. We might have been on the highway, because it's right off Highway 183 is where this apartment complex lived off of, like literally maybe 250 feet from it. So we might have been on Highway 183. We might have been on a back road. I don't know. We start driving. Yeah, we start driving. And like I said, I thought Frank was driving good, so I'm not tripping. I'm smoking my cigarette. We having a good time. I'm in the back seat. No seatbelt like a dumbass, but we're vibing out. We're jamming. Had some jam going at the time. We're fucking all having a good time. And then I just remember it was just like my body went like it threw it all forward, but at the same time it was so weird how it happened. And we crashed, and like I said, I was in the passenger back seat. Now I'm in the driver back seat because there's nobody else in that back seat besides me. So I ended up sliding all the way over, kind of. I don't know. I might have been in the air, went over, slid over. I don't know how it happened, but I ended up in that other seat. And I remember it because I was like, as soon as I was like, oh my God, and we stopped moving, I was like, where is that cigarette? It's lit. It's going to cause a fire, I thought, because I was so drunk. A lit cigarette in a car is probably not going to start a fire, man. Like, it might start a little sizzle or something, but it's most likely going to go out before it starts any significant damage. But I was so freaked out. I was like, where's that cigarette? I had a lit cigarette, y'all. Where's it at? Not even noticing that we just crashed into a fucking tree. I didn't even know this shit, bro. I was more concerned about this cigarette. I didn't even know how the cigarette left my hand but I knew it was in this car and it was lit, I thought. So I was like, where's the cigarette at? And they're like, oh, dog, we just crashed. And I look up, and that's whenever I can see out the what's it called? The glass, whatever, in the front, windshield. I can see that it's like smoking from the hood, from the engine. And I'm like, yo, we really just crashed. They're not kidding. Like, because we just crashed. I'm like, no, we didn't. I'm worried about the cigarette. I don't care what y'all say about crashing. I'm worried about my cigarette because it's lit. It's going to catch this car on fire. Come to find out, we actually crashed. I quit worrying about the cigarette instantly. I'm like, I don't care. He can catch this car on fire because we got to figure out a way to get back to his house. Come to figure out, we're really not that far from his house. Like I said, I still don't know where we were at, but it took us maybe like 5 minutes. The dude got in the driver's seat. He told Frank, you're not allowed to drive no more. You're obviously too fucked up, which he was. He shouldn't have been driving in the first place. This was a 16, 17-year-old kid as well, and took a few shots. Like, once he got there, he just was trying to catch up with us. So he was taking a couple shots, a little extra, and he was chugging his beers, kind of like, he shouldn't have been driving anyways. But like I said, he was, and I remember dude threw him he was like, you get the passenger seat, I'm going to drive back to the house. I swear, it was like 2 minutes, and we was back to his house. And I still was just like, I'm thinking the cops have been called, to be honest. Even though there was nobody around us, wasn't a house in sight whenever we crashed. Like I said, like, it was like a road. I swear, we had to have been on a dirt road. Because it was just a tree. It was like a tree out of nowhere, bro. And it just, like, was there by itself out in the middle of this black middle of nowhere because it's like probably 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and we're just in Texas. And if you're on a back road, there's no lights. You're depending on what your car has for lights and the moonlight and the stars. That's all you got. There are no street lights. There are no light out here. Like, if you're on the back road, there's nothing. So you're dependent on those lights. We didn't see nothing. And he was obviously just a little too messed up. He ended up hitting that tree, and he hit it pretty hard because I remember the dude drove us back, and we all got out. We was like looking because we wanted to see what was the damage now, because we couldn't really see out there. We could see the smoke, and they're like, yeah, maybe it was a little dented in, but we're like, we're all fucked up, and it's out here in the middle of nowhere. We can't see shit. Let's get back to his apartment. Ended up going, and we got back. It's still smoking. His hood is still smoking, and we get out, and that's whenever we can finally see, like, his hood, like a normal hood, is like this, but his hood was like this, like that. Imagine that from what goes to this to like something like that. It was all the way messed up. We was like, oh my God, if anybody reports this, like, they're gonna find this car. There's no other car that's gold with a rebel flag across the hood and that is dented to shit like it just got into a car wreck. It'll be able to be spotted so easily. Well, it never happened. Nobody ever called it in. I'm sorry, I had to look back and make sure I didn't fall off track. I'm still on track. I'm loving that. Nothing happened. We like I said, we went back. We looked at it. We was tripping for a few minutes. And then I remember we went back inside. Remember, this is 2008, 2009. And I remember, I want to say it was whenever we got back, there was another guy there that was like cool with the guy whose house it was. He was cool with that dude, so the dude wasn't tripping. He's like, oh, dude, we've been waiting for you, blah, blah, blah. And us three, like me, James, and Frank, we didn't know who the fuck he was, though. We was just like, alright, dog, like, that's your help. So we'll be cool with him, whatever. Ugh. God damn. I want to say that dude popped out a digital camera. Because in 2008, 2009, you wasn't just randomly popping out with digital cameras usually. Like, they weren't just everywhere. Even on your phone, they weren't everywhere. So, I remember he popped it out, and he's, like, filming us a little bit. And then he goes outside, and he's like, oh, shit, what happened? And I remember the dude was just like, oh, no, we just gotten into a little wreck. Nothing to worry about, though. We all safe. Bro, we just got into a wreck. We should be thankful we're alive. You're acting like it's nothing. I'm over here worried about a cigarette half the time. You're acting like it's nothing, and homie Frank is still a little shook up over the thing. Like, I remember we went back to school on Monday, and he's like, bro, I can't believe we got into that wreck, and like we're still alive. Like, nothing happened to us. Like, nothing's wrong. Like, I can't believe that happened. And I'm like, bro, shut up. Quit talking about it, because like we can't get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble over this. I'm supposed to go to the military. If my mom finds out, she gonna whoop my ass. I don't know how your parents are, but my mom will whoop my ass if I get fucking caught for this shit. So shut the fuck up. We'll talk about this another time when we're not in school. But that was it pretty much. A little bit of a weird story. I know it's a little probably drawn out more than it needed to be, but that was drunk driving in May. But again, that's drunk driving in May. Don't drink and drive is stupid. Like I said, you're gonna most likely get into a wreck, and you won't always be as lucky as me. Sometimes you will die. Sometimes you'll have injuries. Maybe 1 out of 20 times you'll end up like me and nothing bad will really happen to the people, just something will happen to the car. So, again, these are not stories to glorify what I did or to encourage what I did or be like, yo, go do this. It's more of like, don't do this because bad shit will happen to you if you do what I did. For some things, there's going to be other stories. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all in. There's going to be a few other stories where bad things, it's not bad things, it's just life. Let y'all in on a little something. We got a few stories coming up. Whenever I went to the military, we still got stories coming up where drug deals that went a little awry, not bad, but a little like weird. We got some stories coming, bro. Like there's some. I've been writing that as soon as I think of one that I'm like, yo, people might want to hear that. I write it down real quick, and I start kind of getting ready to record. Go ahead, light up with your homie during these story times. Smoke, enjoy a story. That's pretty much it. And if y'all want to hear a certain story and you're like, yo, has this ever happened in your life? Comment me what you think like you might want to hear, and if it's ever happened or it's even been close to that, I'll tell a story and I'll shout out your YouTube name, whoever it was that gave me the little the idea. Because like I said, I'm 30 years old, y'all. I've been here for 30 years. Some shit's happened in my life, and I can't remember all of it at once. So it takes time, and certain things will make the brain click, and you're like, yo, I had something similar happen to me. Just conversations, watching TV, watching a movie, anything can get that brain to click, and you're like, yo, that's happened to me before, and I want to talk about it. That's mainly what story time is. I know I'm drawing this out. A lot of y'all probably don't give a fuck about what I'm saying, but I need to get this off because it's like, I'm not going to make another video where I talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it now during story time. Story time, episode 2, season 1 out. That's it. Drunk driving in May, Texas. Hit the table way too goddamn hard right there. That's my bad on y'all. But until next time, y'all go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment what y'all want to see next time. Comment a story time idea, and if it's anything similar or close to what's actually happened to me in my actual life that I can remember, I will put that in a video. Go follow me on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And don't forget to subscribe to the page, y'all. I'm the most versatile channel on YouTube. I'm going to start saying that in every video because we do everything on this channel. Most versatile YouTube channel. And until next time, y'all have a good one.